Got some masculines in the unseen, wondering about a feminine's jealousy factor. It's like a man who has multiple wives or something, wanting another wife, thinking about it. There's something going on with tomorrow, December 4th. It's been talked about by the adversary or this antagonist known as the curator. For the past 9 days, they keep talking about it. So there's something significant. They're talking about another dimension and the kingdom, which is beautiful, apparently. Could be Emerald City, I'm not sure. Take it as it resonates. So let's check right in, see what storyline Spirit would like to share with us. Storyline for the collective, please. Spirit, storyline for the collective. What story would you like to share with the collective? Please, Spirit, storyline for the collective. Please and thank you. All right. In the central energy, we've got strength, something may be occurring, which is requiring strength. In the challenge position. Whoa, did you see that? It came out and went boop, boop. Ace of Wands in the reverse. Somebody doesn't have any energy. Ace of Wands in the reverse. An unfinished enterprise. Something has been delayed. Very strong here. Something's been delayed. In the subconscious, that came out and flipped into the reverse. We got the King of Pentacles in the reverse. So, corruption. Theft. Greed. In the recent past. Hey boy, what's going on, boy? We got the Seven of Wands. Holding your own, standing up for yourself, persevering through challenges. Hey boy, what's happening? Happening, everybody. Found this spot. Here you go, buddy. All right, so intentions and expectations. Chariot. So you persevered through a challenge. You are protected, maintaining control. You've got a victory. You got a Chariot here. Departing, and that's that thing, like the kingdom of heaven is like right around the corner. It's like the dimension is here, and I was there were some things about timelines, like space-time continuums. Apparently time is a different part of the four pieces that make up a dimension or something. I don't recall. Anyway, I posted it on the YouTube in the chat portion of it, whatever. So it's about like there's this thing, like there's a part of like dimensional, spatial something or other where higher dimensional beings can kind of travel in and out or whatever, and I believe that's happening right now. It's like the kingdom of heaven is like right there in the near future. Seven of Swords, trickery and fraud. Trickery and fraud. I've been listening to these apparently reptilian masculines, part of this genetics program from the 1930s or whatever. They're looking for an escape, and they were talking about dosing somebody with fentanyl and then attaching themselves to the solar plexus chakra or the stomach area. So like they wanted to unalive somebody with this fentanyl stuff and then kind of walk into the body. So there could be some kind of fraud that they're going to try to commit to get on board your chariot. The lens that's being looked through, well, this kind of came out and it slid into the reverse. We got Five of Pentacles in the reverse. So it could be that you are experiencing a positive change. They don't want to be left in the Five of Pentacles. They want to trick somebody, fool somebody. They got various of these things. So you got King of Cups is here. True Divine Masculine. Watching stuff. Hopes and fears. The thing about this is that you, well, let's get some more clarification. Hopes and fears. Two of Swords. Difficult decisions. Well, hopefully it won't be that difficult. Your energy signature is already known. So, what's the outgoing energy? What's the outgoing energy, please, Spirit? The Empress. Oh. The Empress. Thou shalt not pass. Thou shalt not get close to the Empress. And it was like there was this thing that they were talking about how due to the status of a divine feminine, these tricksters and frauds, these masculines that want to do trickery and fraud, they want to dose her and then attach themselves to the solar plexus and then take over that body or whatever. And the status. They want the status of this woman. They want the status of this woman. But they don't have anybody, it appears, of proper status to get close enough to do this. They're working it out. They've been talking about her home, her security door. The other day they were talking about those lights, trigger lights, you know, the spotlights or whatever that come on, motion detectors, security cameras. Somebody was talking about the backyard, talking about the back door. What does it enter into? These guys have been having pretty good, extensive conversations about the home of this Empress. We do have Queen of Pentacles here, and she's shining a light here. Research, and so she could be offering a security. This may be the Empress's future mother-in-law. It could be her head of security. Gonna shine a light on everybody, and according to the truth, they're gonna be put to the death or whatever, or reconciled. So there's that. Okay, you've got your boundaries are very strong here. So this Queen of Pentacles seems to be very serious about this Empress. A couple years ago, nearly, I think, she stated, or Divine Mother in one of her aspects stated, won't let those people obtain you. which is why I typically see the Queen of Pentacles as like a mother figure, perhaps a mother-in-law, somebody who cares very much, a head of security, somebody who cares very much for this Empress. And who knows about the fraud and the trickery. Let's get some more clarification. All right. So we got the Strength card here. Play it cool, play it cool. We've got Shady, Shady. You're very strong regarding the presence of shady people or those people who are coming up wearing a mask. You have a sort of a subtle, maybe your intuition is very, very strong and you can pick up on it really, really quickly. We've got Ace of Wands in the reverse. Whoever this mask wearer is, perhaps, wasn't able to complete their mission. They're not happy. You're too strong. Somebody shady, a shady mask wearer is, they got an unfinished. They weren't able to complete their mission. They're not happy. We've got King of Pentacles in the reverse. So it's greedy, materialistic, corruption. Turning your back. You're turning your back on it. You're walking away from it. These shady characters, you're turning your back on them. You're walking away. They're not happy about it. Seven of Wands, in the recent past, you're standing up for yourself. Maintaining control of yourself, managing yourself. You're protected from those with a sex addiction. You're protecting yourself from Jezebel. King of Cups. You're protecting yourself from Jezebel. So you're not buying into it. You're not going for it. Good on you. Good on you. Way to manage yourself. And you're in the Chariot. You're getting ready to take off. You're a victory. You've got a victory. You're maintaining control of yourself regarding the Jezebel who's coming in, addicted to sex. She's hoping she can lure you into listening to the snake. Oh, come on. It's so fun. You don't want to get in that Chariot. Stay back. Stay here. Be with me. Living in the moment. The Chariot, living in the moment. You're about ready to go. You're taking off. You're departing. You're living in the moment. It's all about right here, right now. And you got the Seven of Swords. There's betrayal, deception, trickery, fraud. You're 100% in the moment, paying full attention to what's happening here. You're not missing any details. So trickery and fraud. We've got drinking and toxic lifestyles, betrayal, and firestorm. Ooh. So those who have been betraying people, lying to people, drinking and effing and partying, and there's a firestorm here for them. Karma is hitting their butt. Karma is hitting. Karma is hitting. These people are not having a good time right now. And of course, they reach out to you, King of Cups. They need you to care. Empress, they really need you to care. You know? It's like, but these ones are the same ones that buried you and pulled off your energy and then went out and behaved like this. It's like you were the temperance, the nurturer, and they trapped you and then started pulling off of your energy and going out and doing this kind of stuff in your energy. Even though you weren't present, they were messing your beautiful energy and then making you sick, covering you in this toxicity. Now there's karma to pay. And they're coming to the very one that they took big craps on, and they're asking to be shielded. They're like, this curator, he was like, please, he's pleading. But this curator is so full of venom and malice. Anything out of his mouth is not true. It's just not. Please, it's nothing. It's nothing. He did scientific genetics experiments on people in the 1930s, and God is and then these people, they decided to go ahead and live a toxic lifestyle, commit all kinds of fraud, wearing the energy of true empresses and trapped high priestesses and, you know, the queens and all of that. And then they went out, dressed up in the energy and acted like a hoe bag. And they were trying to get the Most High God to see the Empress as such. And now, whoever that was, they're in a firestorm. So there's recovery from loss for you. You're no longer in the Five of Pentacles here. There's a positive change for you. The frauds, the tricksters, they're in a mental breakdown. They're in a mental breakdown. I heard the curator in his interdimensional guide or whatever talking about madness. And the madness, it never belonged to the Empress. The madness always belonged to this person. But they were doing magic tricks and stuff and putting it upon the minds of the people, running this rhetoric through. Like, this person is so freaking toxic, and they were doing magic to transfer this, or mirror magic, talking shit in the mirror, or however they do that. I don't know how they do that. I just know that they apparently do. But the madness was never the Empress's madness. It was this person. So the Empress is there's forgiveness. There's a positive change for the Divine Feminine, because you had these sex addicts, these toxic drinkers dressing up in stolen and harvested energy of trapped and suffering, you know, divine beings. They're not happy because you're turning your back. You've got your smile on, your energy is pure, you're wearing white, and then you got your dark hair. So you're balanced, you're very balanced and harmonious within your own space. You're turning your back on those who are greedy. You're no longer pouring into them. You're recovering from loss because they took everything from you. I mean, there's such a difference between this person and this person. So this person here wanted to be seen as this person, or they wanted to cover the Empress energy in all of this and then swap energies, swap places. But the Empress she didn't get trapped into her South Node energy. She didn't do it. She did the work. She healed. God is bringing a firestorm. And look, we got pregnancy, fake news. Fake news. There's a positive change. Karmic lesson. Pregnancy, fake news. This person who's drinking, they might have lied about being pregnant. But maybe they're trying to lie now. They're in a mental breakdown. King of Cups is here. Balanced. Loving. somebody's under pressure, anxiety, time's running out, got some decisions to make regarding a side hustle. I heard there's a feminine on that card. I heard these masculines talking about dosing her, attaching themselves to the stomach area. Like they want re-entry into some timeline or some body of the living. They need to reattach themselves. There's a woman under pressure. She might be having a mental issue. Uber Eats, side hustle. She might have been drawing in other feminines so that they could feed on them. The King of Cups. Somebody's under pressure. He's got somebody under pressure. Or he is under pressure. We're going to get more clarification. Two of Swords here. We got difficult decisions being made. Memories regarding the history. So the need for vengeance is in the history. Everything is in the history. We've got the Empress here. Outgoing energy. What's going on with the Empress? Please, Spirit. Well, I miss you. Love, hate. The phony trickster has a love-hate relationship with whoever. Divine Masculine, a love spell. They've been doing a love spell on the Divine Masculine. It could be a thug, blocked. It's too late. It's too late to mirror the Queen Bee. Those who didn't want any strings attached, their true colors are seen, like with this sex addiction and this Uber Eats stuff, this drinking and toxic lifestyle, and they're feeling like shit. Because their families are, what, a jackass? Or their family thinks they're a jackass for trying to trap somebody who actually loves themselves. This is a psycho who doesn't have a job. They're just out there causing chaos in the land of spirit or in the spiritual community. Shocking news. So shocking news is in Love Child, Secrets, and Ghosted. Twin Flame, Karmic Lesson, Pride and Ego, My Way. Getting readings, Reckless Sex, effed up over you, and in their feelings because you're saying goodbye. You're saying goodbye to romance with the Divine Feminine who is happily single. So they, you know, it's wild to me, but you know, a lot of these folks thought it was the best thing to do to, you know, speak words of love and then trash the Divine Feminine's heart and life. They thought this was the way to be. They chose who they longed to be and what they wished to become. They chose it. They're very happy with that choice because the Most High God gave them many cycles to verify that choice, to really think about it, and they continued to make that choice. You're very strong here. You're very courageous in the face of these mask wearers, these shady people. Confession. A shady person wants to tell you something, but they still have a mask on. They were not able to finish what they started. They're not happy. Moving. They're not happy because you're moving. You're moving. You're turning your back on the greedy. And you are giving it time. So the communication, when people want to compromise, forgive, work it out, you're like giving it time, everything in divine timing. Communicate. You're turning your back on greed. And they're trying to communicate, but you're letting things flow. You're moving in God's timing. You're standing up for yourself regarding those Jezebels, gigolos, everybody, sex addictions, whatever. You got this Jezebel trying to challenge you. She's coming up being a little sex kitten, and you got your barriers up there. King of Cups. This person is under pressure. So you got your barriers up. She's in here trying to harvest off of you, because she owes somebody something to eat, and you got your barriers up. You're not letting her harvest your energy. She's stressing out because she has to, her side hustle is gathering this energy and feeding it to somebody. She was targeting this King of Cups here. He's emotionally balanced. He knows what's going on, and this one's under pressure because he's not sexing her up. He's living in the moment. He's got a victory over this temptation. Health. He's living in the moment. He knows that to do something with this energy could give him some kind of health issues. We've got trickery and fraud, 7 of Swords, drinking, toxic lifestyle is in a firestorm of karma right now. They could be having a mental breakdown. Earth sign, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, could be having a mental breakdown. There's a recovery from a loss. The pregnancy, DNA or whatever is fake news. Either there was no pregnancy or it wasn't your child. But it's got, somebody's trying to say they're pregnant, so expect to hear from them soon. Somebody's going to come forward and say that they're pregnant. So expect to hear from them soon. They want your forgiveness. You're having a positive change. King of Cups is here. He's in control of himself. And we got a feminine who's under pressure and having anxiety because time's running out on this side hustle, this Uber Eats. She's got to harvest energy. Time is running out. Open your heart. She needs you to open your heart. She's got this sex addiction and she's got a job. She has to harvest energy for some entity. King of Cups. What are you going to do there? Two of Swords. So there's stagnation. There's a stalemate due to the history. You're protected. Empress. I miss you. South Node water sign. South Node water sign misses the Empress. You're using caution when it comes to intimate unions, because those magicians are being let go. Those who use that energy to do their magic tricks, you're letting them go. You're not having anything to do with them anymore. You're having patience because you know that these third wheel enemies are being let go. And this fire sign is unavailable. It's a waste of time. It's over. It's over. Hello. It's over, air sign, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. It's over trying to get somebody pregnant. It's over. There's no gambling. We're not going to take any risks with third-party enemy gold diggers who are going back. This narcissist are going back. Wherever that is, they're going back. Because luck is on your side when it comes to date night. You've got pets. You're going to give your new pet more love, or getting a new pet. You're going to do a whole lot of research before you start anything new with anybody regarding this commitment, because you are divorcing from the past. Anyone in that cycle, it's all ended. You just left everybody behind. You're using your intuition, because somebody may be trying to do a love spell, trying to get back into your energy, and they're having challenges doing so. All right, then. So you're very courageous in the face of these mask wearers, these shady people. Someone wants to confess something. They want to tell you something. We've got childish. So we've got a childish person who wants to make a confession. This is a shady character wearing a mask. They're grieving. It didn't work out the way that they thought it was going to. You're just too strong. And they did not think that this was the way it was going to happen. They want to confess because they need an excuse to get into your energy. They, according to what I was just listening to earlier, they want to dose somebody. And then, yeah, I guess that, and they were talking about fentanyl, and then they were talking about attaching to the stomach. So there's an entity. They were also talking about reptiles. So just beware of anybody who's wanting to come into your energy and, you know, pretend as though the last several centuries of your suffering was an accident. And that somehow, if you'll just help them and allow them to continue being in your energy, that, you know, they'll do right this time. But it's a lie. It's just child. These are children. And, you know, I was thinking about that earlier. I'm like, you know, we got a lot of immaturity in leadership roles. And they got nuclear weapons at their fingertip. It's so freaking bad. It reminds me of an angry 2-year-old huffing a big old crystal ashtray at their mother's friend's head because they're jealous or something, you know? Ace of Wands in the reverse. Somebody is upset. They were not able to finish their enterprise. They've got a lack of motivation now. They're childish. They're making a confession. You're too strong with this shady character. They're not happy. You're changing residence, or they have to move. You're being fierce. You're being aggressive. You're protecting yourself. You don't want to have anything to do. You're not gonna listen to this. Look, this person here is not happy. And they got this really toxic lifestyle. They're very childish. And they're looking at this Empress like, she owes me. You better give it to me, you bitch. You know, I can just hear them, you know. A spoiled little brat, a freaking genetic hybrid who feels that this beautiful, organic, original Empress, mother figure, owes her happiness. She feels that this Empress owes her happiness. So we got a lion here who's being very, very aggressive with this shady character. And they're challenged by that because they're greedy. King of Pentacles in the reverse. We got a shady character and a King of Pentacles in the reverse. You're turning your back on this person. They're trying to communicate with you, but you're letting things flow. You're giving it time. They're at a distance, or they could just, maybe you want them to stay at a distance. Maybe they are. They're trying to, they want to get into your soft spot. So you maintained control of yourself. You managed yourself very well in the presence of Jezebel, who is trying to tie you up and harvest you to feed to whoever it is that she needs to feed you to. They lost. They lost because you were able to maintain your sexual inclinations in the face of this temptation. You're in your chariot. You've got a victory over that. You're living in the moment. You're just thinking about peaceful, easy feeling. And your health. You're like, honey, I don't want none of that, because you know what? I want to live a healthy, happy life. Is what I want to do. Blind spot. Blind spot. Health issues could arise. Blind spot. It was a blind spot. This person didn't think it. Like, these people have been, you know, I mean, it's like nearly, I swear, it seems to me, you know, and I don't know, because I haven't been on scene for a long time. But it seems to me that, you know, this root chakra, you know, live from that space has been going on for a very long time, and nobody really, especially in this toxic lifestyle, they don't really have any boundaries. So there's a lot of fraud in this place, betrayal. There's a firestorm of karma coming down. People are having mental breakdowns. Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn ending. This is the ending for a Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. They're pretending it's not ending, but it's ending. They're in a firestorm. They're in a firestorm of loss. Lots of drama. The Five of Pentacles is in the reverse. You've got a recovery from a loss. There was this pregnancy DNA. It was fake news. You weren't really their family. You're not part of that group. We got they'll be back. Somebody may try and say they're pregnant. Expect to hear from them soon. It's fake news. This, if they are pregnant, the DNA, it's not yours. Hard. You're a diamond. They'll be back. They want to make your life hard. Things are very hard right now. They've already made things very hard for you. King of Cups. We've got somebody under pressure. Feminine, having anxiety, time's running out. They got to collect this energy, this side hustle, this Uber Eats. They need you to open your heart. They're reaching out, trying to connect. So you've got the feminines out here. They are under pressure. These women are under serious pressure. They have to collect energy. This is their job. This is their job, to collect energy from divine masculine, to bind him, to trap him, to get those fluids and, you know, obtain everything. The Two of Swords is here. Difficult decisions regarding the history, regarding memories. We've got the Guardian here. You might have your guard up, or you have a guardian who is protecting you. Somebody is having anxiety. Your guardian is giving somebody anxiety. They don't know what your guardian is going to do. We've got the Empress here, fertile, and we have a woman looking out the window saying, I miss you. It's a water sign, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces in the reverse. South Node, conquest, just another notch in the headboard. So South Node, water sign, just another notch in the headboard. They miss you. Was this somebody that was copycatting you? They're not able to harvest energy. Forgiving, they want forgiveness for not telling the whole truth regarding this game of love they were playing. Everything is falling. It's in ruins. Their life is in ruins. They need to face their life is in ruins to make room for the love that you deserve because these mini flames, these beautiful bright lights that they've been siphoning off of while they go out and party and live this toxic lifestyle, and then lay the blame and the shame of that on these good people. Yeah, they're leaving. They're leaving, and because they were guilty of taking everything and then leaving them in the dark and with nothing, you know, not attending their needs, not settling down and being responsible, playing around in the dark side while the Empress is struggling. And now these people are drowning because everything they built on her energy and his energy is crumbling. So, you know, the Jezebels are under pressure because they're not able to harvest the intimate energy from the King of Cups. And we've got a South Node water sign female, it looks like, who's missing the Empress. Could be a friend, a mother, a sister, a lover. Take it as it resonates. Take it as it resonates. It could just be somebody that was a family member in many lifetimes ago, perhaps, that had been playing in your energy for a long time. Who knows? Take it as it resonates. All right. So you've ascended. You've ascended. Yeah. So you're very strong in the face of these shady characters wearing masks. This is a childish person who is grieving that it didn't work out the way they had planned. We've got some kind of confession. They might be wanting to confess something. Perhaps they are confessing. Well, that didn't work out. So they're grieving. They're grieving your loss. You're very firm. Cool down. They're grieving because there's a cool down. There's a calm. There is calm. Like you're calm. You're cool down. Cool down. 50-55 days. A pause. They're grieving. There's a pause. They weren't able to finish their mission. They're not happy about moving, but you're being very aggressive. They have to change a residence. They don't have any talent. They have been impersonating others and their life. So you're being very aggressive. They have to get out of your house. You're not willing to support that activity in your home. So you don't want that in your house. So they're not able to finish what they were doing. You're still here. They're not happy. They have to get out of your house. And you're not taking no for an answer. You're being very aggressive about it because they have no talent. They don't offer anything good to elevate and uplift the community. They only pretend to be others that are doing that, and then persistently do their best to destroy that person or dismantle them. So they have to get out of the house because we can't have that. Our children deserve a better environment than that. And they certainly don't need to be picking up those bad habits, right? Right. So we got King of Pentacles in the reverse. They're very greedy and you're turning your back on them. Turning your back. They're wanting to communicate. They want to compromise, forgive, work it out. But you're letting things flow. You're giving it time. You're keeping your distance. Run away. Yeah, you're keeping away. You're keeping your distance. Run away. Like you're turning your back. You're like, stay away. footloose and fancy free. You're out of there. You got your copycats are so upset because they were mimicking you and they have to get out of your house. They're not you. They're not who you are. This person has been pretending to be you. And they got to get out of your house. I don't know what dimensional reality this is or whatever, but it could be right here. What do I know? So we got the 7 of Wands there. There's a man on that card. He's maintaining control of himself regarding Jezebel with a sex addiction who has lost. She has lost. Yeah, because you maintained control. You didn't give it to her. They rolled the dice. They took a gamble and they lost. You're in your chariot. You're living in the moment. You know that health issues could arise if you tangle up with that. So there's a blind spot here. You may not know what's going to happen, but you're hopeful. You don't know what's going to happen, but you're hopeful. You've got expectations, desires. You're making wishes. You're dreaming. Living in the moment. Dreaming a little dream. How wonderful will it be? So it's like that beautiful dream that, you know, a child growing up in the 60s in America dreams, you know. Back in the 60s, everybody was singing about love. You had quartets and octets and trios, and they were vocal harmonizing, wearing their beautiful matching outfits, and it was real classy, and it was all about love. Everything was love. And when you grow up like that, you believe, you know, these songs, they feel so good, and you're singing them, and it's all about love. And, you know, and you start looking at the world, and you got love in your eyes, and it's not nasty at all. It's just you're in love, and you're looking at people who are holding hands or whatever, and it's all love. And then you realize, you know, when you get thrown into the mix, that it's not that, man. That's a dream. In this realm. But you're not giving up your dream. You're still living in the moment, hoping, wishing, keeping away from Jezebel, because you know she could give you something, health issues. She could infect you with something. So you're keeping your energy and your essence pure. You're managing yourself well in a temptation. We got 7 of Swords, trickery and fraud, drinking, toxic lifestyle is in a karmic firestorm, endings, loss, mental breakdown, earth sign, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. We've got ending. There could be something actually ending. We've got pets, animal friends, these intelligent animals, those entities that came forth from that genetics experiment program. You know, God, I think, takes life seriously, and we have folks here that took death seriously. Some people will continue to live, and some people will continue to experience their choice, I suppose. Their intentions shall be their gift, is what I heard and say. So, taboo. So, we've got 5 of Pentacles in the reverse. You're having a recovery from a loss. You're not having to pay out everything. This pregnancy test or this DNA, it was fake news. You're not the father. Expect to hear from them soon. It is fake news. They want to make life difficult for you. Taboo. Limit, crime, forbidden love, curiosity, taboo. They want to make life difficult for you. They're wanting to do a crime. They want to pull you in. They want to be covered by you. King of Cups, this is a feminine who's very full of anxiety. Time is running out. She needs to harvest your sexual energy. She's got this Uber Eats side hustle she's involved in. She needs you to open your heart. She's reaching for love, trying to connect, but it's eluding her. It's like, so what's going on? King of Cups has this woman under pressure. She lost. She gambled you in the past, and now you're hoping for a better dream. You're creating a better dream. You're dreaming a different dream. Mystery. So mystery in the, so there's no mystery. They're reaching out, trying to connect to you, but there's no mystery. You're not under an illusion. You know what's going on. We've got uninvited guest in the reverse. So this is an invited guest. You're not inviting uninvited guest. You're not dealing with an uninvited guest. You're not dealing with this person. They're reaching out energetically, trying to reach for you, trying to get you to open your heart. Nope, you're not under an illusion. You're not surprised by this. You know that this is happening. You got your swords up, Two of Swords. You got there's a stagnation. You're stopping. You know the history of this. You're protected. They're having anxiety. They're having anxiety. They don't know what your guardian's going to do. They need to harvest you. They're having anxiety. Divine intervention and sing. Serendipity, catalyst, karma, soul, sing praises, and performance. So this Empress sang a song, and divine intervention is here. It's like the King of Cups knows who this Empress is. He's got his guards up. He doesn't want this side hustle here. Sex addict. He doesn't want that. We've got divine intervention. The catalyst, we've got the catalyst here, has sang their soul song. Somebody's having anxiety. You're protected. King of Cups, this woman, whoever this is, they've lost you. They took a gamble. They've lost you. The Empress is right here. Says, I miss you. We've got South Node water sign. Just another notch in the headboard. Conquest. Somebody. So there's a... All right, so the Empress is here, and there's a person here saying that they miss this Empress. It's a South Node water sign, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces, Conquest. This could be that person that I heard, I conquered her. So there's somebody out there who feels they've conquered you. They miss, and again, miss you. Miss you is out here twice. Miss you, I miss you. South Node water sign, Conquest, just another notch in the headboard, miss you. You got somebody out here just pining after you, Empress. South Node water sign, you're protected. Rest. We've got a new beginning with a commitment here. Transformation. A change. So there's a change, an oath, a promise, a commitment, a new beginning. And you're letting go. So, or you're surrendering. So you're letting go of what was, and you're surrendering to opening up to what is, which is the rose, reconciled. understanding. Somebody who had been sacrificed, resurrected, led into an ascension, and is now reconciled because there is an understanding of what has been going on here. So look for, investigate. You have done the investigation and the research regarding the mirror of this world that had been screwing everybody's reputation up. These shadow people from the other side that were spending your money, these snakes, spending your energy, tapping into it, getting drunk, and then having these drunk affairs and whatever, and tapping into the energy and then making it appear as though, you know, you were single. It could be that all by yourself, independently, you tapped into the law. I mean, you could be a justice. I know they talk about a magistrate, and a magistrate is a judge. So you could be a judge. Maybe this is in the judge. Maybe you came here and got the information you needed that blew open a legal case. Divine timing for this separation. So you gathered all the evidence that you needed, and there is stuff happening here. Yeah, street. So exhibit, key people of the street, key people of this exhibit. The core of the problem. The core of the problem were the sacrificed roses, whose energy and intellectual property and this powerful eternal flame within their soul, their solar plexus, you know, this energy that never ceased to come out. So that was the core of the problem. You got a whole bunch of snakes here that were pulling off of the stomach energy, and then they were utilizing that to really screw everything up while wearing the signature of this poor rose, right? But here you are, independent, free, lead, initiative. You took the initiative. You took the initiative. Free. You could be free from anxiety. You could be here independently leading those, or freeing people who were in bondage. This person here, you could be independently freeing people from bondage. Here, gathering all the information that you needed. So those people, the silence, you know, everybody, the secret, you know, the silence that nobody could ever speak of. And maybe you were silent. Maybe you were silent, but you were royalty. Royalty. Here, investigating what was happening to your family. Top level soprano royalty. Royal and loyal, no matter what they tried to say about you. Somebody's in eternal regret for this addiction to eating the apple. God's daughters of Eden, perhaps. Take it as it resonates. For eating your energy, for consuming you, for energetically harvesting you. They were trying to say that the Empress ate the apple. The Empress was the apple, is the apple that they were feeding on. And they were just covering her in the blame and the shame of it. Because that's the game they play. That's the game they play, this transference of sin crap. They abuse somebody and then transfer the sin of that abuse back on to that somebody, so they have to pay twice for what's happening to them without even really knowing what's happening. So the Empress is she's wearing that crown. She's top level. And somebody who obviously betrayed her is like, I miss you. South Node water sign. Just another notch in the headboard. Somebody who let her go, who abandoned her. I miss you. They don't miss anything. You know what they miss? They miss wearing that damn crown and wearing that harvested womb energy, all of that passion energy. Yeah. Lifetimes masculine out there wearing the Empress's womb power. Thinking himself so sexy. So you're very strong here in the face of shady mask wearers. They want to confess something. They are childish and they're grieving. It did not work out the way that they had planned. There is a pause, a cool down portion. We've got face in the reverse. They cannot be seen as you. They're not seen as you. They're wearing a mask. They're wearing a mask, and the mask didn't work. It didn't work. So they're making a confession. They were not able to complete their mission. They're not happy. They have to move out of the house, and there's a lion here being very aggressive. That could be God. They have no talent. They're not who they say they are. This is a identity thief. Who is pretending to be somebody that they're not. So they got to get out of the house. They don't have any talents to offer the community. This is a trickster. And they're getting kicked out of the house. They're not going to wear your face. They're not going to be in the house. They have to leave. They have no talent. Their only talent is tricking people, and they didn't even succeed at that. So King of Pentacles is in the reverse. He's greedy and materialistic, and you're turning your back on that. They want to communicate, they want to forgive, work it out, but you're giving it divine timing. You're letting it flow, just flow, and you're keeping your distance from these people. You're staying away from these people. They might be trying to run. They got to leave. They're going to go try to hide in the forest somewhere. They're going to go try to hide in the forest so that they can come back at some point. You know, the Cherokee have a story where a son and his mother lived in the wilderness. And then here comes Wild Boy, right? And Wild Boy just showed up one day. And I think it was one of these guys going out there hiding in the forest, and then they just show up one day, and he happened to convince that boy that his mother was a witch and they needed to unalive her, and then it all began all over again. So it's like there's a trickster here. They're running away. They got to keep their distance. They're trying to hide. They got to move. They got to get out, and they don't want to leave. We've got illness. Run away. They might have to run away from whatever this is. There's an illness. They're trying to hide, keep away, get away. Maybe they have to keep their distance from you because you know that they have an illness. You know that they have an illness. Health issues could arise. They've lost. They took a gamble. You managed yourself well. You did not get involved with this sex addicted person because you're aware that they are harvesting energy for this Uber Eats thing. Yeah, and they probably have a sickness. And the thing about that is it could be that they're carrying some kind of a parasite or some kind of an attachment, like a devil attachment or something like that, an entity attachment, that if you sleep with them, then you will then have that attachment, right? So you could know that this is what they are. You're telling them to keep their distance from you, this King of Pentacles in the reverse. So yeah, you've got this King of Cups telling this woman with this Uber Eats, she's under pressure, man. She's like, open your heart. Come in, come in. She's really desperate. She's desperate. But you're not under an illusion, and you're not going to go get involved with that uninvited guest. You're not inviting nobody. So it could be that you're just like, get away. King of Pentacles in the reverse, greedy, turning your back. They want forgiveness, but you're giving it divine timing. You're letting it flow away. Distant. Get away, get away, get away. You're running away from them. They got rabies. They got this weird rabies. They got some kind of a weird genetic thing. And that's what that was that they were talking about. These genetic experiments that they were doing in the, what do they call it? The camps, the Jewish camps. They were doing genetic experiments. I guess it was the Germans were doing genetic experiments. And those genetic experiments are being undone. And so they're running away. They got this weird thing, this rabies type thing. It's a weird mindset. They did some weird genius genetics experiments. And it just like I don't know. There's no empathy. There's no ability to care. There's just this toxic, wanton, sex addicted, it's just F this, F this, F this, F this, F this, F this. And it's like this parasitical attachment that keeps getting on everybody because of this careless stuff. So you maintained your control, King of Cups, and so did you, woman here that's turning your back on this King of Pentacles. So they lost you. They took a gamble and they lost. They took a gamble and they lost. And we've got dance, broken minds, Bad luck isn't brought by broken mirrors, but by broken minds. So that's what this is. They're tricksters. There's rabies or some kind of weird thing going on with their mental. They were genetic experiments from the 1930s. They've got broken minds. They've been feeding on everybody. There's this weird kind of sickness that spreads. It's a trickster that doesn't really have any talent. They just go and kind of parasite onto somebody who does. They keep talking about attaching themselves to somebody's belly area, their stomach, which is their power center. That's where the silver cord is that connects you to the heavens. And so these entities talk about attaching to that with their broken minds. They want to attach to a regular empress and regular divine masculine because they have the actual connections that they need, the antidote to their broken mind. You have the antidote to their broken mind. That's what it is. And the energy that can make them feel like everything's okay, but they screwed themselves up, and this curator has been out there harvesting this antidote for centuries, and it's wild to me. You're in your chariot here, living in the moment. You know that messing with them is going to give you a health issue because they got attachments and they could have STDs. This is a blind spot. Maybe you are in a blind spot. They didn't see this coming. They did not see you managing your snake. Sorry. So you're here living in the moment. You're hoping, you're dreaming, you're blowing you're making wishes, you're dreaming to your heart's content. This is a blind spot. It could be that you're shielded. They can't see you. They're no longer able to attach or see, your energy signature or whatever. So we've got, victory because you're in the moment. You're monitoring your health. Mask. So this mask. So you've got hope and then mask. Let's see, mask. Who are you? Are you? Mask. Who are you? Who is anyone really? Behavior and demeanor can disguise an identity as well as any mask. Those with an agenda may be those we least suspect, especially if we encounter them in a jovial atmosphere or scenic circumstance. If deception is revealed, It may come in a sudden piercing moment of recognition. We had known the truth all along. Be wary of misdirection. The signs are there to be seen. So you've got, you're hoping. So mask. God dang it, mask. You knew the truth all along. So you're hoping. You could be blind. Like you may not see who it is you're connected to, like in the 3D or whatever. You may be energetically connected. You may be dreaming, hoping, envisioning who this may be that you're connected to. You're a person. You're holding off on this sex addict over here, managing yourself well. We've got the Seven of Swords, trickery and fraud, drinking, toxic lifestyle is in a firestorm of karma. They could be having mental breakdowns. Madness is what the adversary was calling it. Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. This is ending. You're not their pet. This is the end of their relationship with pets. The God or the upper echelon of beings far greater than we stated that this is the end of their relationship with batteries. So your animal friends, this is the end of these animal friends. This is the end of them seeing you as a pet, I don't know. This is the end of you being a pet. Because the song, the song that I was channeled a couple of years ago. Mother, oh mother, oh mother, you are sublime. Mother, oh mother, oh mother, beastly divine. Your powerhouse. Well, anyway, there's like we're part beastly angels. We're beastly angels. This could be the end of you being a beast. Maybe you're going to be full-blown angel now because they're in a firestorm having a mental breakdown over the information that you brought forth regarding what they were doing, these childish people, what they were doing, wearing the energy in the faces of others to mess with people. Friends. So they would be friends with somebody and then they would actually try to become that person. And this is ending. You're not their pet. This is the end of being friends with these intelligent animals. So that's what this is. This is the end of being friends with intelligent animals. Those people who are just out effing and drinking and effing and, you know, being a mistress or a gigolo or whatever, there's no real responsibility. So this is the end of animal friends and being friends with them. So yeah, because they kept wanting to fight and stuff. Five of Pentacles in the reverse, recovery from a loss, the DNA, fake news, pregnancy, like it's fake news. Forbidden love, they'll be back. They were making things hard for the diamonds. Taboo, limit, forbidden love, curiosity, animals. So there was like this weird intelligent animal here that seemed to be breeding with the daughters of Eden. It was taboo, it was forbidden. You know, they got these genetics programs and all of that. They were doing all kinds of, they were in it all the way. And this isn't the first rodeo. I mean, I don't know how many times the world has been reset, but this isn't the first time that they got involved in this kind of stuff. I'm sure. Cat. Taboo. Cat. I like the dark. It's friendly. So this says, I like the dark. It's friendly. Embrace your hunting instinct and focus on the world outside. So this is like, they made life really hard for those who were diamonds, who carried the light and the essence of the sun in them. So they were like, what were they doing? They were like genetically modifying them. They were doing something with their DNA. They were trying to alter their genetics. They'll be back. They were making things very difficult for these diamonds. Taboo. They were trying to limit them. So they were like twisting the genetics, giving it a twist. Giving it a twist. We've got the cat. And this could be this lion. His family tree. Yep, his family tree. Absolutely. It was taboo for these ones to do these genetics experiments on this family. They're in trouble. King of Cups is here. He's what's he doing? What's King of Cups doing? He's got somebody under pressure. He could be under pressure. I mean, if it's not him, then he's got a feminine here who's under pressure, because she's got her side hustle is collecting energy, sexual energy. And she needs him to open his heart, reaching out, trying to connect, but love is eluding. There's no mystery. There's no illusions. No more dealing with this uninvited guest. Like there's no more dealing with this uninvited guest. No more surprises. Oops. Well, it came out in the, so I got flight in the reverse. They're not going anywhere. We're not dealing with uninvited guests. We're not where there's no illusions here. We've got this sex addict here. They lost. They're under pressure. Time is running out with this side hustle. They were collecting sexual energy. They need you to open your heart. They're trying to connect. You're not under an illusion. There's no more mystery here. You're not surprised. You're not dealing with this uninvited guest. We got flight in the reverse. They're not going to use you as a ticket out of here. You're not letting them collect your energy. Escape. We've got flight, and so that's like ascension or whatever with the people going up into the sky, but it's like that. So it could be that you have escaped because you didn't feed into that. Over here, you're in a 7 of Wands, standing up for yourself, maintaining control of yourself. 2 of Swords, you got your stuff up because you got memories. You're a guardian. You could be protecting somebody. Divine intervention, serendipity, a catalyst. Somebody's having anxiety because of this soul song. This Empress's soul song. Divine intervention, protection. Earth. Her soul song has brought about divine intervention for Earth, protection. Serendipity, a catalyst, her soul song. She's pure, she's protected. The Empress is here, royalty with the crown. Master, top level. We've got I miss you, South Node water sign, conquest, just another notch in the headboard, miss you, and suspicion. Suspicion. They could be paranoid. suspicion. So this is somebody who does not like your perspective on reality. They weren't willing to see things from your perspective. They found it better to be a trickster and a hoe bag. And now they're trying to sing the song, I Miss You. They're in grief. They could be feeling that their neighbors are spying on them. Maybe they are, and one of your neighbors spying on you. They're in too deep. Their boat's not big enough. There's a phantom after them in a book. They called forward an animal, fertility. So they were doing fertility experiments with animals in this book. So they were calling up what from the depths out of this book, this phantom, let me in. They were calling forth the boogeyman and then doing genetics experiments on the people, fertility, animals, trap. It was forbidden. They were doing that to trap people and then to consume their energy, and it was forbidden. They trapped people in this. They were told not to do that. And this is your experience. These ones left you there all by yourself, and they were freaking snacking away, and you weren't able to fight it. Warrior in the reverse, and everything else is in the upright. But you have escaped the devil and their curse of harvest. You're free of that. We've got obsession in the reverse. You don't have any obsessions, and you're certainly not obsessed with them. You don't want any of that business. No, thank you. I guess some of these are. I wonder how that happened. So it could be that this person, they're paranoid. Look at this. So there's a dog or something with a human head in the background. And then you got this man here. He's pointing at what looks to be a female sleeping, and he's blaming her for something. That's what he did. He blamed this empress, the wearing a crown, a master top level empress. I heard in previous messaging that this is a daughter of the lion, daughters of Eden. These are like the sacred apples from the tree of the Most High. The daughters. This just wasn't very smart. And now they're trying to plead with this empress to help them. And she's all, there's nothing I can do for you. And God said when beginning this whole thing that she had been too forgiving. It's like they kept feeding on her and feeding on her. They tried to exterminate everybody, feeding on them. And her, I guess, her Holy Spirit kept forgiving. And so God stepped in and he's like, enough. Bringing an end to it. There's an end to your friendship with intelligent animals. They gave you a twist, and they were trying to make these empresses, these royalty, these royal daughters, they were doing a twist with these genetics things, you know, trying to claim them with these medicines. Not very nice. Run away. So they're trying to run away from Cujo. They're trying to run away. There could be these intelligent animals in the forest. I've been getting that in the woods. So it could be somebody's in the woods. They're running. Maybe all of these intelligent animals are running for the forest. Maybe that's where they're going. They're hiding out. They're hoping that they can stick it out. Like they won't have to leave the planet if they can hide. They can stay. If they can get away. If you can't find them. And then they can kind of reconnect at some other point. I don't know. Take it as it resonates. You've got protection. So there's protection. You are protected. Nature. The earth. It could be the nature. You're protected by nature. The children of nature. The natural children. The original human being is protected. And it could be that they are protected by not only the Most High God, but by also the totality. You know, a woman once said that the higher you go, the greater the boogeyman gets. And it's because I think of moments like this, you know, when you've got these really great and bright lights, right? These angelic feminines, they're so gracious and gentle. And then you've got these masculines who can just bring on a freaking karmic storm of, you know, loss for somebody. So it's like, you know, this darkness, you know, this protective darkness is kind of like wrapping you while you're sitting there shining, right? And it could be that the nature. So you've got these white here. So it's like the light and the darkness of nature, of life, of everything that is protecting you. These entities, they're not going to wear your face. They can't present as you. They're angry. They're young. They thought that they could just get one over on this empress who is royalty. They thought they could just, with their childish behaviors, trick somebody into believing that they were the actual royal one. They're over here snarling. Mad. They're not able to complete their mission. They can't be seen as an empress who survived hell, you know, and then came back as a serendipity, as divine intervention, singing a soul song for the earth and humanity. So it's like God is giving leniency to humanity for what the empress did. And because this divine masculine was able to manage his own this whole sex addiction thing, so he's able to manage that. So he's not going to be out there willy-nilly looking for a mistress or any of that kind of stuff. He's like, this woman is under pressure. She can't harvest off of him. He's like, I'm sorry, you know, I'm not giving you my energy. And she's upset because she can't fly off. She can't be seen as, you know, as this beautiful energy unless he gives it to her. You know, and if, she, you know, the fluids, I guess they do those things with rituals to bind people and stuff. Maybe he knows this and he's just not into it. The dance. They rolled the dice. They took a gamble and they lost. You stood your ground. Oh, shoot. Wrath. Broken minds. We've got wrath. There's wrath. They've lost. They've lost because you did not give them your divine sacral energy. your power of creation. You didn't give that to her. So she's getting wrath for the broken mind, this sex addiction, this gambling, wrath. You're in your chariot. You got a victory over that. A victory over those inclinations, those temptations. We got health. You're looking out for your health. You are taking care of yourself. You're not caught up and just wantonly, you know, pulled here and there by your desires. You have a dream. You have specific expectations. And you're looking at this mask and cushing, mask. Hold on, mask. Who are you? Who are you? Hope. Yeah, you may not know what your person looks like. You may be hoping, dreaming, planting seeds together, hoping and dreaming. You may be dreaming. What do they look like? Like you might not have a vision. Maybe you're wearing a mask. Maybe you haven't actually met in the 3D or anything, but you're connected in other spaces maybe. Take it as it resonates. We got a 7 of Swords. So there's trickery and fraud, toxic lifestyle, and that's where younger people go to meet, right? Is at these toxic dance clubs and whatnot. And they wind up hooking up there, and then, you know, having a kid, and then getting divorced, and it's just this nasty mess, and it's pretty terrible, you know. It's a karmic meltdown right now for an earth sign, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. This is an end of animal friendships. This is the end of your animal friends being your friend or having friendships with you. So see this animal friend. So one of them, he's got this thing crawling up out of his coat, and he's looking at his buddy over there. They're looking at each other like, what the heck's going on? So this is the end of having animal friends trying to mirror you. Yeah. They're having a problem. Gifts. This is the end of these animal friends getting a relationship with you so that they can tap into your gifts. Toxic lifestyle. So you're going to recover from the loss that you have been experiencing. This was fake news, this DNA, this relationship. They're not real humans. Whatever, I mean, they're not their original human. So pregnancy, somebody at the club may say they're pregnant, trying to get in with you. They may have said it already, or they may say it soon. They want to make things difficult for you. You're a diamond. Things are difficult for them. This is a forbidden love. We got cat. Crime. Taboo. This genetic splicing, these genetic experiments, it was forbidden. It was forbidden. They were making replicas. They were like, it was forbidden to create genetic experiments in a replicated whatever and then cause a distraction. It was a crime to pretend that they were the original and then to take over their union with the other original. It was a crime. King of Cups has a feminine under pressure. Time is running out for this side hustle they need. you to open your heart. They're reaching out, trying to connect. Love is eluding you or them. You're not under an illusion. You're not under the illusionary, mysterious thing there. You're not dealing with an uninvited guest. We've got somebody's not able to use your energy to take flight, or you're not able to take flight. Take it as it resonates. Growth, mischief. Well, no, they're not able to use your energy to take flight. You're not opening up to that. Because you have grown regarding this mischief that you have been experiencing. You've grown from that, and you're above that now. And you got this woman here, this sex addict. She's freaking out. You won't let her harvest you. She's got to get this energy. She's got to get this energy. Time's running out. She can't take off. She can't take flight unless she has the energetic, the key, right? The signature, the ticket, the one-way ticket. You got your swords up, two of swords. There's a stalemate. You're not, it's like you're not moving forward. You're avoiding this at all costs due to the history, the memories of what's been happening here. You're protected by divine intervention, serendipity, and a catalyst here. Somebody's having anxiety because divine intervention, you're singing your song, you're singing your praise. It is seen that humanity actually loves the Most High God. And so there's like divine intervention for Earth. Divine intervention for Earth, which means this Earth, you know, there's some timeline adjustments and a lot of, I think, destruction of specific timelines. But as far as humanity goes, I believe they've received mercy. And, you know, these animal friends, they want this empress wearing the crown to give them mercy. But it's not up to her. Vengeance belongs to God. And this empress has been going through cycle after cycle after cycle of this horrendous abuse. You know, and nobody ever offered her mercy. And God said enough is enough and came down and said that's that. And now these ones, they want to get back in her energy. They're like, I miss you, I miss you, I miss you. Just another notch in the headboard. South Node water sign, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. They're suspicious. They're blaming you for something. They're being released. They're blaming you for them being released. But vengeance isn't this empress's. She never once took vengeance. She forgave and forgave and forgave for centuries. And God said enough is enough is enough. Let me take a look at what's going on here, and now we're going to make adjustments. They're pointing their finger at this empress, saying it's her fault, she's doing it, and she's not doing anything. God said, I see what's been done here with this, and it's a sacred space. What these people have been doing to the anomalies in this sacred space has been exposed because the Empress survived or was resurrected, I should say, and then led into an ascension, and all of the information that she had gathered throughout this period of suffering was revealed to Heavenly Father, who then decided to have leniency toward humanity, because obviously they were set up so that because they are this anomaly, and you got these intelligent animals who needed to feed on this, because that is the antidote. The light and the blood and all of that of these anomalies is the antidote to their screw up with their genetics experiments. God says they're the new fodder, and there is preparations being made because they're scavengers and they got to go away, because balance is being restored. You and your ability to maintain balance is being restored. And we've got some folks resisting here your bond and your opportunity to just go have fun. They were playing around with your bond. trying to keep you apart from each other. They're in grief now. Those who were committed to empty nesters, committed to this new life form with these genetics experiments, they're in grief because they're being released. All these negative influences are being released. These 9 from the 9. Yeah. So, you know, we do have some folks, though, that are trying to hide out in the wilderness, as far as I can tell, because they, because they want to stay or whatever. All right. The Empress is her crown there. All right. This is the message. I hope that it brings clarity to something that you already intuitively knew. And I'll see you on the next one, everybody. Bye.